man, that phone really is the problem. So you try to not scroll, not waste time on phone. And man, we all did it. We all made this mistake and messed up and constantly watching social media. But some days ago, I heard this classmate of mine saying how basically she doesn't use her phone as she eats, and she eats therefore way sooner, way faster. And she said she doesn't understand people who just use the phone as they eat, and they eat for like half an hour straight, and all that stuff, right? So I thought, man, that's maybe not 1 hour, but like 30 minutes or something, 40 minutes. That's a huge waste of time, right? And then after that, you just scroll or you watch more videos when in fact you should be working on something, on your own personal development, going to the gym, or maybe you came from the gym, but maybe you need to read a book or make an assignment, and so on, right? Some productive stuff, but you're not doing it because you're trapped in this phone, basically, on YouTube, Instagram, and so on. And so I tried basically to eat without, watching anything online on my phone. And guess what? I looked at the time and I'm like, wow, 5 minutes. Literally 5 minutes, right? So it took me 5 minutes. So I literally gained in my day 25 minutes or so from that meal. And that's just one meal. Imagine two or three, right? So you can literally gain your time back and use it to be productive in whatever goal you have and work towards that in whatever area of life that is. And you can gain your time back and finally get way more self-control. And when I did this, man, I just felt so much more peace, so much more happiness and self-control. It was so good. And the thing is, I want you to understand, you try this 100%. The point is, the goal here is not to just try your best to quit it in one time, just try cold turkey, let's say, because you will probably mess up. Now, of course, still try it, still do it. Point is, you might mess up. I messed up somewhat after that, but truth be told, it's not actually that hard. I mean, I genuinely, you save so much more time. And the goal here is to try more and more to use your phone less and less, so that you start making it a habit, and therefore you turn into the guy who doesn't use his phone as much. And when you do that, guess what happens? You adopt this new identity and the self-image. And based on the self-image, you take certain actions, right? So you simply are not disciplined and indulge in these bad habits, whether that be porn, whether that be video games, whether that be junk food, not going to the gym, not doing the right good stuff, simply because you just have the identity or the self-image of someone who does watch porn, who does waste his time on the internet, who does play video games and eats junk food. The thing is, you gotta tell yourself repeatedly that, okay, I'm not this kind of guy anymore. And I know it sounds simple, but the more you say this, the more you start getting this belief in your mind. And guess what? The more you start becoming that guy. Because how are actors, right? Think about it. Actors play their role so much that even after the movie is ended, they still act unconsciously, automatically like that character, even though they were not like him or her. So point is, you gotta create this new self-image for yourself and act based on that new guy that you gotta become. That is disciplined, right? And you tell yourself constantly, I'm a disciplined individual, I'm someone who's disciplined. And through that, you start changing your beliefs, your neural pathways, and so on in the brain, and the habit pattern that you have, right? And you start getting more self-control because a habit is automatic. But when you do your best to put awareness in and attention into this, guess what happens? You gain self-control, right? So you do that, you try your best to, and also you try your best to just stay away from the phone more. And the more you do this, the more self-control you'll gain. Now, problem is that most people, when they try this, they just fail first time, and they just don't try it again because they think, oh, it doesn't work. See, or oh man, I'm a failure. It doesn't work. No, it's not like that. The point is that you do it more and more, so that you become more and more the kind of guy who doesn't watch the phone that much. The kind of guy that isn't unorganized, that isn't lazy, that isn't indulging in this pleasure. And the more you do this, the more you, how can I say this? I don't know if the word is fortify, but you literally build up more and more this new character. And when you do, obviously your actions change, right? So based on all this, you literally make huge progress in quitting your bad habits, and your phone is a huge part of that, right? Now, thing is, now that you cut your phone off, or at least way more, you need to replace it with something else. Because if you don't have something instead to do, you'll just naturally go to the bad habits because you think, oh, well, what else to do, right? So before even trying this, or maybe you can try, whatever. But is you gotta have something scheduled in that you know you gotta do and want to do, because you know a bunch of the time it's not even procrastination. You think, oh, I procrastinated again, I wasted time. Yeah, but that's the thing. You procrastinate on doing something, right? So you gotta have that something in the first place, that thing you gotta work on. But that's another thing. Many of us don't even have that something we gotta work on. So because of that, we just naturally waste time, right? So I remember many times when I didn't have any priorities, I didn't have any priorities, I didn't have any goals for the day, tasks in my to-do list, and therefore I just wasted my time because there was basically, in my opinion, as I considered it, nothing to do in the day. So naturally, I just wasted time, right? And the key here is that you pick something to work on so that you actually have something to do, because otherwise you will just go back to the bad habits. So you replace this with a goal you're working on, that's one, and two, with other good habits. I started to do this a bunch of quite some time ago, maybe like 2 years and a half ish ago with video games. I basically deleted them and I had other good habits to do. For example, meditating, writing, and staying outside, or whatever I was doing, learning from books and so on. Basically beginning my self-development journey back then. And it worked simply because I had stuff to do. Now imagine I didn't have anything, right? I didn't have the learning from books habit. Didn't have that habit. Didn't go outside. Didn't write. Didn't meditate. Well, I would have a bunch of hours in the day that would be simply just free, you know. And there was that quote. I don't remember exactly how it is, but basically, free time is the devil's workshop or something, or something like, I don't know, something related with you having a lot of time and therefore wasting a lot of time because you don't focus your attention on working towards something. So naturally you indulge in these bad habits, right? Whether that be video games, junk food, and so on. And if you need more help with this, send me a message on Instagram. Let's talk and let me help you with this. And you gotta pick something, right? So for example, me, I the reason why I didn't just keep watching stuff on my phone, as I told you about, it took me 5 minutes to eat instead of like 30 because I didn't use my phone and I didn't scroll and all that stuff, didn't waste time on it, therefore. Well, that's the thing. I have other things that are important to me to work on, not just some random stuff that you don't care about because it won't work. You gotta pick something that you need and want, right? So, for example, I have to make these videos. I want to improve in YouTube and making better content, helping you more and more with stuff that actually works, that helps me, and learning from different courses about business entrepreneurship that I got from different entrepreneurs. And that's interesting, right? I mean, that gives me stuff to do. And I even many times just want even more time to focus on my goals and to really create something that I want to achieve. Also, set yourself some kind of schedule if you decide that that's going to be helpful for you, because for some people it works, maybe for some people it doesn't. But I tell you, if you schedule everything in your day, you won't have time for bad habits. Think of it, it's logic, right? Plus, it gives you stuff to do. So you'll finally have things that you can work on. Now, of course, you might not always feel like working on them, but the more you do it, the better you become, the more disciplined you become, and the better that you get this stuff done. So use these tips. Do your best, no phone as you eat. In general, less phone, all right? Don't use your phone as you go to bed, because that just, man, I remember times when I was literally staying up until 12, 1 a.m. on my phone. That was like years ago, bro. I think I was, I don't know, maybe either watching something on YouTube or playing video games back then. It just ain't good, man. It's destroying your sleep, your health, your life. It's not good. And you feel disgusting. You feel like a loser almost, like I used to feel. And you just lose this self-control. And come on, man. I mean, your mind is controlling you. Your body, your flesh is controlling you, man. Reject that and embrace Christ, man. Embrace God and read His Word. That will help you, right? And man, just use these tips. Less phone, and get yourself some great goals that you're excited about. Get yourself stuff to do so that you fill all your time in a day, all of it, right? And if you need more help with this, send me a message on Instagram. I want to help you with that. I'm Sebastian, and watch more videos on the channel. Say in the comments what else you need help with in terms of discipline, quitting bad habits, and so on, confidence, this type of stuff. And remember, we're limitless because we never peak if we so choose to. And hopefully, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.